Late night happy hour on a Monday. Adam Hill is with us. Very shaded.
Trying to.
Well, I think you were afraid of the comments last week about the light being too strong and your hair looking blonde.
Well, it's the same light.
I don't know. Don't get all frustrated at me.
I can't figure it out.
Isn't it like a weird haze over him? Can't you? You can see that, right, Allie? Oh no.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a very fancy light above me.
Okay.
I think. And then
that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do these videos moving forward, you need to get a little more studio lighting, my friend. Come on, invest in this thing.
Yeah.
Put some of the money back you're getting for this back into your set.
Exactly.
Back into your studio.
I'm on it.
There you go. So what's up, Allie?
Not a lot, man. I've been watching the playoffs all day. I feel like it's March or something. It's a weekday, and I watched 4 consecutive basketball games. And I'm going to admit I day drank a little bit because that's what you do when you watch 4 consecutive basketball games, even though it's a weekday. Some good hoops, though.
I would have to drink a lot of money to watch a basketball game in full.
Drink
a pro game. I would have to drink a lot. I'm sorry I'm thrown off. I'd have to drink a lot to watch a full basketball game. That's not college.
I'm not a huge NBA fan, but I am a huge basketball fan, and I've really enjoyed watching these teams play. Without all the NBA garbage of who's making the most money and who went to the nightclub and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of the distractions have been taken away. They can't travel. They don't have outside influences. And I don't know. I've had a lot of fun. There's a lot of really young talent out there that's really fun to watch.
Steve, what do we often say about the NBA? That's the only fun part of the NBA.
Yeah, the second part, you're completely against us because we love all the nightclub stuff and the drama. We love that. We need that. I get your point, though. So I want to get into the NBA in 5 minutes.
They're handicapping it.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
All right.
I want to get to the NBA in 5 minutes because I got to go through something that irks me all the time. And it's back, Adam. It's back. I'll tell you in a second here what's back. You tweeted about Fernando Tatis Jr.
Good Lord.
Why good Lord?
Did you see that home run? I mean, he hit 2 tonight. One is a grand slam. The first one he hit, I was watching 4 games at the same time, so it was kind of tough.
Right.
But out of the corner of my eye, I was like, "Oh, Tatis just crushed a line drive to the shortstop." And then I look over, I'm like, "Wait, that's gone?"
I actually have the second one, but keep going on how impressive it was.
It's just, I think it was they said it was the second smallest launch angle of any home run, in the last 2 years or something, some ridiculous rate. It was insane. He murdered that ball. And I'm sure he crushed his. I didn't even see the second one. The first one, he just murdered.
All right. Ready? So I just want you to, okay, I'm just going to show it and then I'm going to replay it. We'll see if people can figure out what's happening here. So this is, Fernando Tatis Jr. What does he have? 9 home runs now? He's ridiculous. He is who baseball should be building its sport around, along with Mike Trout and some of the other great players. This guy is a freaking phenom.
Right now. This is in the air to right field.
Papa.
Back it goes. Nando has done it again. Fernando Tatis Jr. a grand slam, and the Padres
11 home runs.
14-3. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs for Fernando Tatis Jr.
That team has got
how
a lot of young talent.
Oh, yeah. And they just lost Tommy Pham, and they're going to have another young guy, Josh Naylor, who's going to go in his spot. But, how great is that for baseball? 11 home runs, played freaking 22 games. Everyone has to be excited about that. That was freaking awesome. Let's watch it again, right? Now, I want you to keep in mind, Look in the corner, right? The with the scoreboard here. Do we see anything that's alarming here?
Yeah. Well, they have a 7-run lead and it's 3-0.
Okay. So what's the problem?
Well, I don't have a problem, Steve.
Yep.
But I have a feeling there's going to be a problem.
Of course, the baseball pussies, and pardon my French. Here we go again, right? So here's the home run. Boom,
This
right?
is in the air to right.
Hey, Dick, throw a good pitch. And it actually, here's the thing, it wasn't a bad pitch. It looked like it was a kind of, low and outside. Let's see where the pitch is. Or did it go right through the zone? It's on the outside. That's not a bad pitch. He freaking jacks it the other way. This guy is awesome, right? All right, so let's watch him walk around.
Back it goes.
Or run around the bases.
Fernando has done it again. Fernando Tatis Jr. A grand slam.
Yeah.
The Padres go on top 14
All right, here we go. Here's where it starts.
to 3.
Nod. Here's the nod. By the way, can anyone on the fucking...
Well, and in that
anyone on the-
situation, you've got to know a strike's coming. He doesn't want to walk you in.
Yeah, and guess what? If it's freaking right down the middle of the plate, you smash the shit out of it. Let's see. First of all, can anyone name? Has anyone put it up yet? What's the name of the manager with the Rangers? Anyone on the show?
Rangers manager. I have no idea.
I don't know why Buck Showalter is what came into my head, but that's not right.
Nope. Yep, and so it begins.
Nobody knows.
I'm Googling.
No, I'm not. I don't expect anyone to know him, and Gemma knows him.
Chris Woodward.
Yeah, Chris Woodward.
Gemma knows everything.
So Gemma knows.
Gemma knows the last time that Chris Woodward pooped. That's what Gemma knows. I'll tell you what.
Well, sorry, Jim, but I can't take this. And for rules of baseball, guys, to me, this is nonsense. JVT's in with a Woodward. Sports Guy 06 is in with a Woodward. Brady Barron's kind of with a Woodward. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he complained about it.
By the way, he's not the only one.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
There's a process to this, my friend. This is the way we do the show.
I know.
Rangers manager Chris Woodward on Fernando Tatis Jr. swinging 3-0 on his grand slam. I didn't like it personally. Up by 7 in the 8th inning. It's typically not a good time. 3-0. It's kind of the way we were all raised in the game, but norms are being challenged. See, I love we're all raised in the game that way. All right, Chris. I'm older than you. I don't remember this bullshit.
God.
Well, also, Fernando Tatis does not come from a baseball family, so how would you know?
I know, right? Jace Tingler, the Padres manager, said that there was a take sign missed. Tatis actually started to apologize after the game. I'm reading the Padre reporters were like, it was a miserable, melancholy postgame. I'm like, what is going on?
But this is also why baseball's losing some fans.
Oh, is that
That's
why?
ridiculous. I do not believe in taking your foot off the gas in any sport for any reason. Like, we showed up to play a game, and if I hit a grand slam, with a 7-run lead, then that's what freaking happened. Deal with it.
Also, as Steve knows that I have a pretty large wager on somebody that runs this year, so I'm happy that he swung. I'll take it.
It's a ridiculous concept. Like, we understand there's unwritten rules. We understand you don't steal in certain situations. Guess what? Just play. If somebody steals, then you throw them out. If you don't like somebody swinging 3-0, then don't throw him a pitch that he can hit out. You just settle down. And for Tingler to not defend his guy, I mean, I know he said. Sorry. I know.
No, he's a young player. He's a free spirit. All that stuff. Like, I get it. You're defending him to a point. Go to bed.
I'm so livid over this thing. I actually think Fernando Tatis, when he wakes up tomorrow, should be like, I'm sitting out until I get an apology from Jace Tingler, and if I don't, I want to be traded.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Guys, this guy's going to save their franchise, and you don't back him, and whoever's pitching tomorrow for the Padres, like JVT says, expect a 98 mile per hour fastball to the dome as a perfectly equal act of retribution, which I think he's being sarcastic. Yeah. If I'm the pitcher of the Padres, again, I do my move that I promised I would do against the Astros. I throw into the dugout at Chris Woodward. Let's go. Let's go. These are my rules. Deal with
Fuck
it. These guys, man. I'm so sick of this. It's like your sport is dying in so many ways. This rules of baseball crap. Done. Oh, we're getting our ass kicked, so you should lay down and take out all your good players. All right.
This one is ridiculous.
It's not NBA. It's not the freaking NBA.
What's the difference? You can still play all the way to the end there too. I just think, like,
no, that's what I mean. Take out all your players.
Yeah, but are you on board for even like this? Like, don't level of like, all right, we don't need to steal in a big lead, but like swinging at a pitch, if you want to swing at a pitch, is fine, especially as
guys, money based on their stats. A lot of guys. So you want me to pass up an opportunity to hit late in the game? Then when we go to arbitration, as he pointed out, or is somebody going to come in and say, well, he could have probably hit another home run and driven in 4 more, but he took 3.
Baseball.
We thought you were going to have audio issues tonight, Allie. What a
I
nightmare.
am
Mine's going
having,
in and out, by
you
the
guys
way.
are all
Yeah.
cutting out to me, so I'm not even sure if I'm around or not.
But you're here. You're
Okay. You guys, it keeps cutting out in my ears though, so if I disappear.
Me too? Oh, no.
Yeah, no, just Adam.
Okay. There he goes.
Get out of
We'll
here,
try
Adam.
We'll try to fix it. You know, I don't want to jinx it.
See, now I can't hear. There you are.
Oh boy, everyone's jacked up tonight. Everyone's jacked up
Can you
tonight.
hear me this way?
Echo.
Can you hear me this way?
I can hear you.
Okay, maybe we just do it this way and we don't have to worry about it.
So I don't get this or remember this. I don't remember this, and I was a Piazza fan. Did he bang a lot of shots up big? I'd love to look back on that and see when he hit his home runs.
Yeah, I don't remember Piazza that well either. I mean, like, I remember he was a really big deal and he was a catcher for the Dodgers, but that's about it. That's Gemma. We need Gemma on standby at all times.
Mr. J Vegas says, if it's such an issue, give up and end the game. Yeah, walk off.
Oh,
This rules of baseball thing. Come on, man. Come on. And Tingler, that's embarrassing. That's completely embarrassing to freaking throw your guy under the bus. All right,
Yeah,
I want to get to the playoffs. Yeah.
Like, how often do you get to hit a grand slam for crying out loud? Why make him feel bad about it, man? Just take the win. Be happy. He's not supposed to take the pitch. Come on. I don't know.
I want to get to the NBA in a few minutes. You had I want to get to the Karens of the week too. So you had a weird one. This isn't a Karen, but what is going on with I don't know if people have been paying attention, but Ellen's had a freaking target on her back the entire pandemic. She's had all these allegations of people being mean to her, right? Like, so what?
Yeah.
We're all mean to our coworkers, right? Now what's the latest one? Did people say that she was mocking a guest?
You know, it's funny because I don't really watch the Ellen show all the time. I do watch Modern Family, and it's pretty specifically to watch Sofia Vergara because I'm obsessed with her. So when she was on Ellen, I happened to tune into this, and Ellen kind of kept making these jokes like, what was that? I didn't understand. And she was making a riff on her accent. But if you watch Modern Family, the whole kind of show is like the shtick of her characters that they make fun of her accent and all that. And it's not meant in like a racist way. I don't think Sofia Vergara thinks that it's racist. But now the Modern Family fans are like ticked off and raging at Ellen, calling her a racist and saying she was making fun of her. And Sophia should feel bad. It's just like, I can't, like, now I have to hate Ellen. That's what the pandemic's brought me to. Like, now I have to hate Ellen, like Dory from Finding Nemo. I'm still not over Matt Lauer. You know, it was too much for me.
But let's not hold on a second. Like, I'm willing to listen to some Ellen defenders, but what do you mean you're not over Matt Lauer? He was locking women in his office. He had a deadbolt underneath his desk. What are you talking about, Allie?
Matt Lauer should get everything that's coming to him, but he was like this daily, friendly, happy guy that was in my living room every day, and I loved him. And then all of a sudden, now I have to hate Matt Lauer. It's like, okay, I can hate you. You did bad things to women. That's fine. But Ellen is like the most lovable, likable person in the world. I can't hate, like, if it's someone like Rick Pitino, like, you know, Rick Pitino's doing shady shit behind your back, you know, like, no one has to be surprised when Rick Pitino does something wrong, but Ellen, Matt Lauer, I don't know. It's too much for me. I can't take it. I think it's totally off base. They're just finding something to bitch about right now.
I get the theme. When you like someone and all of a sudden, like when Adam found out about Kelly Ripa just being a freaking terrible boss and hell on wheels, I'm sure he was heartbroken.
She's not.
He loves that show.
No, she's great. She's a wonderful person.
She's one of the worst human beings on TV.
But I feel like this is just when we start complaining that people got canceled, and we're like, well, who got canceled? Well, terrible, terrible people. We can't compare Ellen, who is by all accounts a terror on set and running just an awful operation of people feeling uncomfortable and traumatized all the time. Like, we could just assume that anybody that's on TV is probably a jerk. Like, for the most part, I think we can just assume they all are. And if they're not, then they can surprise us.
I can't wrap my head around Ellen being a jerk. I'm just not there yet.
She's always struck me as kind of a jerk. And who on TV would you be completely shocked that they're a jerk?
Ellen, for one.
She is. Is there anybody else?
Kelly Ripa surprised me. I just found out about this right now, and I didn't know Kelly Ripa was an a-hole.
It's just Steve calling her one. She's great.
Oh, stop. She's had a war with almost everyone on the show. When are we going to get the real story between her and Strahan, who, by the way, is also a prima donna?
Yeah, I blame him.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it's his fault.
I can't stand him. He bugs the crap out of me.
Her and Reed always got along well. I put this on Strahan.
Do we think?
Yes.
I have a feeling if Reed had lived long enough to write a tell-all memoir, which he probably did, but I didn't read it, that he would have freaking hammered Ripa.
Reed probably forgot they ever worked together. I don't think he knew that.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Would you be surprised if Gordon Ramsay was just hell on wheels? Isn't that the character he plays?
No, that's who he is.
Okay. I think that was a joke from him.
All right. Brady said Mr. Rogers. That's true. Because I watched that documentary, and I think my biggest complaint, as I told you, was that there's never a twist. Like, the whole time it's just, oh, he's this great guy. And you're like, all right. And then, but, like, never. He's just a good dude.
Some people are just nice.
Do you ever remember hearing like those rumors that went around that like Fred Rogers was in the Navy and under that vest, like he was tatted he had full sleeves and all that. And then like to find out that wasn't true was like, I don't know if I'm happy or sad about it. Like at first it was like, yeah, freaking Fred Rogers tatted. And then it's like, all right, good. I don't want Fred Rogers to be tatted.
I think we're getting our rumors from different places.
But that would have been a twist.
I've never heard that.
Brady's now turning to... Good.
Caillou.
Yeah, Brady's turning to John Oliver material.
Oh, that's right. Caillou.
Caillou is a cartoon for kids. I'm just a kid who's 4. I want something more. Have a kid or two, you'll know.
There's a site that says that's the reason Mr. Rogers always wore long sleeve sweaters to cover up all the tats.
Yeah, this is like back when I was in high school. This is like 97, 98 business. This is an old rumor.
Right, but
I'd be surprised if Jimmy Fallon was an asshole too.
No, to Ray's point though, he's a raging alcoholic. That's a problem on set. Like that's pretty well documented. Like again, I think you could just assume.
Who, Jimmy Fallon?
Yes, he's a terror. They were going to fire him.
I don't TMZ. Apparently, I need to up my entertainment education because silly me, I just watch sports all day. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
I can't keep up. Who's
Real Housewives?
Yeah.
One more time.
Can you handicap the Real Housewives? Like, can I take bets on Jimmy on late night?
No, just Vanderpump Rules. It's the only good one.
Don't do it.
Yeah. I love Vanderpump Rules. I live in that shit.
It's great. It's tremendous.
Did I fall behind?
It is.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Steve. Go ahead. There's a delay. Go ahead, Steve.
There's a delay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I'm just going to put up comments and you guys go.
Okay. This one doesn't seem real to me. James Corden is the one guy that you'd be like, he's probably a good dude.
I could see that.
But then again, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if anybody in show business is a jerk.
I was going to say Obama, but that's not show business.
There's no way Tom Hanks. Oh, man. I was going to say.
What about Jennifer Aniston?
She's probably a jerk.
You're a jerk.
Tom Hanks does seem like a good dude, though. I feel like maybe that's a good one.
Yeah.
He got through the Rona. He tried to help everybody out and tell us to be good and be aware and take care of each other.
He raised a good kid too. That Colin Hanks isn't bad. He's a good little actor.
was actually.
I'm sure he's not an asshole most.
No, sitting by Colin Hanks at a Rams game like two or 3 years ago. He was a good dude.
Wow,
I'll punch Ray Romano in the throat. I can't stand him.
Jesus, okay, settle down.
I cannot stand him. There's something about the tone of his voice and he's like, y'all will kill me if I say that. I'm going to stop here. I can't get involved with your show, the greatest show of all time.
Hey, Chris, how are you, sir? Appleton, Wisconsin is not a fun place, but thanks for tuning in.
Wow, good line. A little delayed, but pretty good.
Solid.
Yeah. Would we like to hit on some Karens?
Sure. Always a good topic.
Did you have any suggestions for Karens of the week? Because our top producers, Brady and Sean, both sent some in. But I have to show you this first. This right here, I think. Yes, Tatis, 11 home runs. Going back to the early comments.
Yeah.
Bill Murray, I don't know. NBA 1, I don't know. This right here is one of the braver things I've ever heard. This person is going to be fitted for a freaking straitjacket soon. Watch this. This is a grocery store chain in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. They're handing out cards to anti-maskers. They're giving them a mask at the entrance. Here you go. And then on the card, the CEO of the grocery chain, her personal number is on the card. If you would like to debate the mask policy.
I like it. I feel like part of the problem here is I think these people understand they have to wear a mask. They get it. They know it's the law thing. I think they just want a buddy. And I think you're kind of playing into what they want if you start debating them. If you're a clerk or a security guard, whatever, and you start debating them, I think you're giving them what they want. At this point, you're just like, wear the mask. Oh, you don't want to? Here's a card. Get out and read the card and call her if you want to. But that's what we're going to do. We're not going to debate this. We're not going to stand here and yell about the law.
It reminds me, 2006, I had a bunch of friends who were playing the World Series of Poker, and so I hung out around there a lot, and the dealers, when they were off of like their round of shift, would set up a bad beat table, and they would charge the players $5 to come and sit at the bad beat table and tell them their bad beat story. And it sounds like this lady is like the bad beat table. Like, you want to bitch at someone? I got time. Here's my number. Call me up, bitch. We'll talk about it, but you're wearing your freaking mask. She's like the bad beat mask table.
That's pretty close, but I think it's even more like don't badger my employees. And you're right, like it's like at the poker room, it's like don't badger the dealers that are trying to work. If you want to scream about bad beats or talk about them, yes, go over to this table and pay somebody and they'll listen to you. But not the people that are trying to work right now. And I think that's part of the grocery store of all right, we're not, don't yell at my employees that are trying to work every day. Here's my number. If you want to debate it, call me, and I'm just going to tell you have to wear a mask, and that's it. But you can call me if you want to. Like, I like this policy. I don't know that it's going to work because I think the people still just want to argue with somebody, and they want to do it publicly. They don't want to do it privately because they're just going to be told you're an idiot. Here's the law, and you got to wear a mask. So I like the strategy. I just don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to work either. Trying new things.
Yeah, the whole it's actually
it's all about, right? We're trying new things.
Yeah. It doesn't help me. There's debate, all this other nonsense that's out there.
It gets me sicker. I'll actually get sicker from wearing a mask.
So dumb.
Yeah, just wear your mask. Just stop being an ass.
Right, and again, it's not for you. It's for everybody else. So if you don't wear it, you're just a jerk. And just know that. That's fine. And it's not. You're not. I don't care about myself.
You're okay with being a jerk, though, you know.
I'm sure they are, and I'm sure they want to do it publicly, and they want to make a big spectacle of it because that's just who they are and what they do.
Yeah. So what's the deal, Brady? You said you got mad enough to email a CEO last night for the first time ever. What's the story?
Ooh, I want to
know.
In the meantime, there was apparently I don't even know if he's a Chad or a Karen. He's just a loudmouth racist on the public transportation somewhere in Great Britain, and he was squawking about black this, black that, and he gets engaged with a black woman who's like, dude, you are a racist. Cut it out. You're an idiot. And I don't know, for some reason he was all puffing up because no one was really reacting to him aside from the woman. 3 dudes get up, and I don't know what he was doing here. It's 3-on-1, and his reflexes aren't as good as he thinks they are, or maybe he's never been punched in the face. This is, you want to talk about vicious, but after watching the other video, and TMZ sucks, I can't pull it up, but after watching him go on and on for 2 minutes, guess what, fella? You better put your hands up.
Oh,
He is out. He may have hit his head on the rail or, I don't know, somewhere on the floor, and I don't give one shit. I have turned into a vicious person because I don't know if this coverage will show. Let's see. I think someone comes over and tries to get his heartbeat and his pulse, and the woman who he was yelling at is like, "Don't help him. Why are you going to help him?" He's out. The guy comes back and he kicks him. That's awesome.
Fucking racist. You're fucking racist. Yeah. You deserve that. You deserve that. Call help. Go help a racist. Let him lie there.
What do you think of that? Don't help a racist. Let him lie there.
let him lie there. That's
Yep.
great.
One more time. Put your hands up, dude. Gone. Then the laughing.
What was he saying? You said you saw the other video earlier?
He was just going on and on about, I don't know. He kept saying something black this, black that, and the woman was getting insulted. He was really hard to understand, but he was puffing up and being real arrogant and kind of daring anyone to come at him. So they did.
My daddy always said, you got to be tough if you're dumb. And that's a perfect example of it right there.
The only negative things I can think of this are because he's going to be telling the story for like the rest of his life of like these black dudes just came out of nowhere and punched me for no reason. Like he's gonna have fuel to his nonsense racist fire and never tell the part that he was being incredibly racist and deserved everything that came to him. And I'm just thinking of that and like knowing like, God, that sucks.
Yeah. And daring people, especially when they get you on video and they see what you did, daring people to attack you doesn't work that well anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Did it ever?
Well, and denying the true story is kind of tough when it goes viral, bro. So there's that. But I agree that someone should have gone over there and made sure he wasn't dead. I mean, there, there's still a level of humanitarian that you need to. I mean, people might have ignorant thoughts and ignorant actions, but I mean, I don't think that should take away their right to not die on a subway in front of other people if they could be helped.
Does it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, because then you're just as bad as they are. Like hating a racist for being racist is like hating a person for being black. You're still like hating someone for just being something.
No, it's not.
Okay. I knew that. It's not what I meant to say, but the point is
someone is instigating. They're going on they're instigating. They're going on a racial rant. You're muted. They're going on a racial rant for 2 minutes. He's telling a woman to shut the fuck up. He gets up. He doesn't cover up. His 3 black dudes walk by. That's on him.
Huh?
You're back up.
I'm not saying he should not have been hit in the face. I'm not saying he shouldn't have had it shoved down his throat. I know, right? I'm coming off as a total asshole. I've been day drinking. I'm not saying everything right. Just give me a sip of tequila and we'll get back to it.
It happens.
Okay. No, I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to get smacked in the face. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that if you think someone might be dying on the floor, I think the human thing to do is go like double check. Hey, if there's a pulse, leave them there. It's cool. But I do agree that somebody should check and make sure he's not dead.
Mr. Tiger Gator, real quick, Mr. Tiger Gator, you could charge the dude with assault, but you know what? He was being safe and he's wearing a mask. So guess what? IDing him, you're shit out of luck, which is another reason, in case you get into these situations, wearing a mask is another good. There's another good reason to wear a mask. So there you go.
Also, we've had the discussion with Justin Watkins before, and again, we are amateur lawyers now that we've talked to him enough. I think there is a fighting words provision. Now I don't know British law. Is he is he British? I mean, he's British. Is he in England or here? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know common law in Britain if that's how it is.
We'll look it up. This is a good question for Justin on Thursday.
Yeah. But I mean, I think there is a fighting words provision in our law.
Well, you know what? I'm glad Allie's on tonight because she's got a softer side. We don't always have that soft side, as Brady says. Maybe hoping for a date. I don't think she can go on a date. But with Matt Lauer or KKK Carl. So
no, I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, I don't like Matt Lauer now that I found out who he really is. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying there was like a heartbreak involved. Like 10 years I watched this dude every morning with my coffee and my morning dew. I watched Matt Lauer tell me what's up today, on Today. And like all of a sudden Savannah's crying and Hoda's ticked. It just rocked my world. Rocked it. Just saying.
I wouldn't call what Matt Lauer does dating.
Adam, you were devastated when you found out about Louis C.K., right?
I think I'll still defend Louis.
Which is not funny. I don't know why I laughed at that because he's pretty creepy.
I mean, is creepy that bad though?
The constant barrage of masturbating in front of women and also down the phone line to women.
Mostly on the phone. It's mostly on the phone. I mean, I think that's better than what Matt Lauer's doing. There's levels to this, right?
Matt Lauer had like a bat cave with some button under his desk. This was like premeditated shit, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think what he did is a lot worse. I think there's levels to awfulness and creepiness. I think Louis C.K. isn't that high on the scale.
All right. Another video sent our way, which I thought was dynamite. Not necessarily a Karen, but I wanted to ask anyone or everyone, is there anyone that you would climb out a window to escape them in fear of the wrath? And this appears to be a situation where there's a dude, and I apologize if it's an old video. A dude is climbing out a window. This is like 15, 20 stories up. This is insane. And look at the ledge. They'll zoom in.
Okay.
I mean, that's insane. Is there any other way to explain this situation other than he was cheating with someone and the SO came home?
Oh, I think so.
No, the lack
Vicious
of
dog
pants says that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's the problem. It could be vicious dog, but no, it could be a freaking drug dealer looking for money. I mean, maybe.
With no pants on?
Maybe you're in your room, you're watching TV. Just the underwear on. I don't know.
Maybe he's just trying to hang out and like watch a game and she won't stop. And he's like, all right, I can't. She just keeps talking like, all right, I'm out of here. And then he realizes like, this is kind of dumb. Because first of all, clearly he thinks he's going to get back in the window. I don't think it's guaranteed that you just climb back in the window.
Yep.
Like, from that predicament?
I don't think so.
And
your feet should definitely be facing the other way. Because, like, if you got to jump to that banister, your feet need to be the other way. You didn't even plan this out at all.
First of all, I think that's a bad angle. I don't think there's any way to jump to that porch.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Yeah. Let's zoom back out. How far is it?
Yeah, that looks far.
That's just a window. I don't even think there's anywhere to jump.
Yeah. He's stuck there.
That's a disaster. His one choice is to go back in the window he came from.
Yeah, because I don't even think
what happened.
I don't think you could even climb back down.
What happened next?
That's a great question. We'll have to look it up.
This is the only part of the video we have. Like I'm saying, I don't think even if he's like, all right, let me go down to the floor below me, he could definitely slip off that. Like there's not a sure thing that you're going to step down to the window below. So you got to go back up into this window.
Okay.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Maybe he's some like really badass rock climber and we just don't know it. And he's about to like drop down and dyno back up and like, and it's done deal. This is no big deal to him. This is like how he does this. And we're just bugging him right now. This is how he smokes a cigarette in the hotel.
I'm doubting that one. I feel like you would at least have shoes on in that case.
He was watching Ellen.
So Allie, let's put you in this position, right? You're outside the window.
Of course.
This was in the days you were carousing more. Is there a
Right.
woman? Is there a woman? Say you're with a guy, because who knows? Say you're with a guy. His woman comes home. Is there a woman you would fear so much that you would climb out the bathroom window and risk this much? Like, who would you be that afraid of?
Nobody.
I got nothing, man. Yeah, like my first person that popped in my mind was Lil Kim. Then I was like, I feel like I'm okay with Little Kim. Little Kim. Lil Kim. Like, I feel like we'd be all right.
But
And then Roseanne Barr kind of popped in. And I was like, I can outrun her. What am I afraid of Roseanne for? So those are my two that popped in my head. And I think I'm all right.
But I feel like, did he know how like unsteady the predicament was outside? Or did he just climb out the window and he's like, all right, I'm gonna hang out here, and he's like, oh wait, there's really nowhere to go. Like, I feel like he didn't shape up the situation before he climbed out the window.
This is who I thought of. For a woman, I thought Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Nunez though.
I think she's too nice.
That's true. And it also wouldn't be a guy.
Is her wife pregnant right now, or did she have the kid?
No, she's very, very pregnant. They just posted a picture the other day.
I mean, if Allie was, what's her name again?
Nina Ansaroff.
If Allie was doinking Ansaroff, could it send Amanda Nunes into a rage?
Yeah.
You're with her prego wife? Maybe?
Wait a minute. I'm hooking up with a pregnant woman now?
Yeah.
I don't know what you like. Yeah.
For this exercise.
You have weird taste.
I don't
know.
know. With pregnant women. Jeez,
Maybe you did.
Louise.
Maybe you did.
Where we're
Don't-
going with this. Pregnant women.
Don't get us to
My
this.
strap-on is never going to be able to get inside a pregnant chick. Everyone knows that. God.
What?
I don't think that's. I'm not here to lecture a woman, but I'm not sure that's the way it works. Does it? Wait, hold on. Let me get out of here. What?
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't. Just kidding.
I'm out. That was bad. Let's see. Sean says it's a fluid situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Kent came in. He said you're way too picky.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you? By the way, what do you have against pregnant women? What's the problem here?
They're no fun to bang. They're so bitchy.
Wait,
Your
what?
strap-on always bangs the baby in his head. It's too much. You guys wouldn't know. Okay. Let me tell you. They always got to pee. They're always getting out of bed to pee. You never get yours because then they're tired.
Okay.
Trust me, pregnant chicks are not the way.
Okay. Carol
You
Baskin
open the
is
jar.
probably the right
You
answer.
open the can.
If
Corral Baskins.
if Carol Baskin's second husband would have done this, he would have been okay. Or he would have died in a different way. I'm not sure. But I also don't know if there's any tigers around this apartment complex.
I want to know what happens at the end.
We all do. We'll never find out because this was it. Unless there's a part 2 of the Twitter video out there somewhere. Somebody needs to find out. I'd also like to think that maybe he just
Did like
climbed
the
back in.
filmers drop the phone? Like,
I feel like he might just climb back in. And it ends very anticlimactically, so nobody put the video out.
Hope Solo, is that a threat?
It's not a threat to Steve.
well, not to me. Yeah, maybe to who was her dude?
Jeremy Stevens.
She was beaten up on. Was that
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
Eh.
She's a
Please,
good-sized
Brady,
lady.
find the ending.
Wait.
Hope Solo's about. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid of boys either. Like, I don't know. I'm little. I get out of situations quickly, and I'm a fast, smooth talker. In case you haven't noticed, all right.
God, that is so high up.
Now I feel like
So
he's gone.
high up there. Yeah, I don't see
Who's
him on
running the
there.
video? I think they turned away. I think he climbed back in. Let's see. All right, he's there at the 09 mark. Then they zoom out. Where is he?
Maybe they dropped their phone right now. No, we get a killer free fall shot of that phone.
This is
that-
a terrible camera.
Yeah, it is.
He's gone. Unless what is that? What's that up there? I don't know. I think he's
Well,
gone.
there is that one window. There's that one window that looks very elongated, like right in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where he is.
Um,
Very inside.
Adam, for male candidates, real quick, if it was reversed. Well, I guess that was not reversed. It's this situation. Male candidates, I actually interviewed one of them.
War Machine?
Yep. Because it actually happened. And he almost killed 2 people.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
So I will not.
I still go back and I will say with John Copenhaver, that was one that I did not process. Never really chalked him up as being that insane.
But you knew he was insane talking to him.
I mean,
you didn't think
I knew he was unstable. Do you ever know that someone, I guess you do, but do you ever know that someone is capable of trying to kill 2 people?
I guess not. Like in your mind, as you said, like you talked to him and you were like, wow, there's something wrong with this guy. He's off for sure. But then do you connect the dots to that next level? I don't know. I think it's tough to do that. I mean, okay, I'll give you one right now. And I guess retroactively, it's weird to go the other way. But if you talk to somebody who has tried to kill someone and you're like, yeah, this person doesn't seem like somebody that would have tried to kill somebody. And OJ would be one, I guess. But for me, like Greg Hardy, like developing somewhat of a relationship now with Greg Hardy. And I'm like, this is really weird. Like this person did that?
I don't know. I feel like if you ask some of OJ's or Nicole Brown Simpson's friends, they weren't surprised at all that OJ killed somebody. I think it just depends on how well you know somebody. I mean, there's people that they got some brain damage, whether they were like fighters or football players, like something ain't right up there, whether it's CTE or drug abuse. And I don't know. I don't put that past people that they would. I watch a lot of Dateline, though. I will say that. There's a bug on my camera. I watch a lot of Dateline. So, what really impresses me about Dateline is like how long it really takes people to get caught for killing people. Like the wife did it every time. The wife did it.
I'm
Dateline
amazed.
Fast forwards to 6 years when we're at the trial. Crazy.
I'm amazed by that too. Like, especially with have you guys started to watch the story about Patton Oswalt's former wife who passed away, who was doing a documentary and following the Golden State Killer?
I have not watched it yet, but I've followed the story a little bit.
But the Golden State Killer. I mean, the guy literally, he did it. He had like a 7-year prime in the 70s into the 80s.
Yeah.
And then just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Well, It is. But when we say this, like we also have to keep in mind, like they only feature stories on that show and on documentaries where the person's not caught. Like the majority of the time, it's right away. You're like, oh, this is the person. But they don't make it to Dateline if it's an open.
And you know what I was thinking too? Like a lot of the Datelines that we watch, that I'm watching now, like they happened in the 80s or 90s when we didn't have like the DNA stuff or the cell phone. Like our technology wasn't what it is now. But what about like the Dateline? Is there going to be Dateline in 20 years, or is it going to be like, no, we found his little barcode that we chipped in him when he got his coronavirus test, and he's right there, and we can tell you everything he did on that day, and there's no need for Dateline ever again because we know you did it.
Please don't do that. Please don't say that. Please don't say that.
I hope we do that.
The chip. Really?
Would you have a real problem?
Doo-doo.
Would you have a real problem with the government tracking everything you did? I wouldn't.
I wear a Fitbit. They already track me somehow. I mean, what are our cell phones? What, like I buy a t-shirt on my cell phone and then every freaking ad pop-up I get is for t-shirts, like they're already tracking us. It's already a thing. I mean, I don't want a microchip or a barcode. I'm not trying to go Kurt Vonnegut on this.
It wouldn't bother me.
But still, it's happening.
What am I doing that they're going to
It would bother me.
Because I would say, as long as everybody in the world is getting tracked and like chipped, I'm down with it. Because like now everybody else has to be held accountable. I'm not going to do anything wrong that I'm going to be held accountable for, but everybody that does do something wrong will be caught immediately. So I'm all for it.
That's a good angle. I like that angle.
Yeah, we do it to everybody. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Were you actually making a pitch, Allie, that you're sad that DNA is helping solve so many crimes because it will take down Dateline 20 years from now?
No, it's just because
I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it.
It's just because I watch so much Dateline and I'm a handicapper. So my brain works in angles and, thinking in different ways. And I was just thinking, well, what about in 20 years from now when all the reasons that it took them so long to catch this guy are non-existent? I mean, not even 20 years, 10 years, like now at the end of the day. But when all the angles or all the methods that they're using to catch these guys are like, I said that wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's the tequila.
Do we want to see Karen's, or can we move on?
Don't we want to save him for Justin because he gets so mad?
Yeah,
I do enjoy him getting angry at Karen's.
But I also feel like we have to save him a little bit. He's getting really worked up.
Yeah, that's true. Poor guy.
I want to see a Karen. Yeah, I never see Karens unless I'm on the show. Are there any Karens in sports?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah.
Sports Karens.
Yes, the Rangers manager. Yes.
Yeah.
The Rangers manager is definitely one.
That's perfect.
Let's try this one. One of our guys sent it to us. Give me 1 second.
Now, like which country you are in?
Oh, no.
Oh, great.
I know. I'm miserable already. Aren't we all growing weary of these morons?
Do you think they're doing it just for the attention?
This one was definitely an attention seeker.
Oh, okay. I am not a Karen. No, I'm not.
Now, like which country?
It's getting punched up. Karen.
I can already hear her. I already don't like whatever's happening in this video.
Well, apparently this was very much a stunt to try and get arrested. So let's see.
Okay.
Now, like which country you are in?
I don't know what country I'm in. I thought I was in the United States. I can't go to the store. So I got cash. I have credit. I want to buy some water. Are you in Cuba? Why can't I buy some water?
Okay, guys. So this is what we have. We have Mother's Market and Kitchen right now on August 15, 2020. Okay, and they lock the doors. They are keeping customers hostage inside of their store. All right? This is what's happening. Guys, this is what's happening. All right, so they are keeping these people out. They are keeping these people out. No one can go in. No one can go in.
There's water right here.
So people are being denied access to food.
Oh, jeez. Louise.
See what I mean?
We're all going to starve.
Even their dumb excuses, like, all we want to do is get in there and buy water so we can drink water. And somebody's like, here's some water. You don't need to go in there. They're like, no, now we need food. Like, okay, you're just lying.
People are
always.
The citizens of United States are being denied access to food right now. This is a war crime.
They're being held captive inside of a grocery store.
Did you see that when they panned away, there actually was some older folks wearing masks there?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, I get you're doing your stupid demonstration. Yes, and it's a war crime. But how about just put one on for them? Like, they're trying to be safe. They're trying to wear a mask. Like, just put the mask on. Like, come on. It's not for you. It's for them. Keep that in mind every time. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for other people. And there's also other people there.
These are people that clearly don't care about other people, though. Like, I know, I get your pitch, but it's falling on deaf ears. Like, these people don't care about other people. That's just it.
Do we know where that is? That seems like in Orange County.
Costa Mesa.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, I go to that mother's
Happening right now at Mother's Market and Kitchen in Costa Mesa, Southern California, happening right now. Guys, they are keeping people hostage inside. They are not allowing people in and not allowing people out. Yes.
Oh my God.
Would you ever fucking believe what this woman is saying? Like, are there actually people reacting? Like, the hostage? Seriously?
Oh, okay. Then wouldn't the answer be, okay, if you're walking up, like these people are walking up to the store, right? And they're like, what's going on? And the lady said, they're holding people hostage inside. Wouldn't the answer be, how about you call the police?
Yeah, call the police.
Because the police are going to come and tell you you're in the wrong, so you're not going to call the police. So if somebody is committing a war crime and holding people hostage, call the police.
Yeah. That's just, listen, Lululemon, shut it down. All right. Isn't there a fucking Pilates class missing you somewhere? Like, chill out. That's ridiculous.
Do you realize what assholes we look like collectively? The Daily Mail, on a search for the story, wild pack of Karens accused grocery store of committing war crimes for denying them entry because they refused to put on face masks.
It's great.
By the way, this was an organized protest. It was a group of anti-maskers. The store manager shut the door to the store because the group refused to wear face covering. So they're actually protecting the people inside from the jabronis outside. You want to finish this?
It's just so ridiculous. And again,
that bouncer, by the way, the tall guy, been coming here 25 years. He's never been here.
The bouncer.
Wow. Okay. So, guys, you are witnessing live. Okay. This is United States of America, and here we have police coming in. Okay.
They're gonna arrest your ass. Okay.
What a goddamn waste of public resources. There's like 6 or 7 cops. You assholes. God.
And
not
by
the
the way,
cops, the idiots who are doing their stupid protest.
Shouldn't this lady be running over to the cops and saying, like, it's this way? It's the war crimes are over here. She's like scared of the cops now because obviously she knows she's in the wrong. She was trying to be in the wrong. She was trying to make this happen. These people are ridiculous. It's so insane that this is an issue. I think we've talked about this before, but one of our good friends lives in Europe, and he came back here and he was just like, "What is going on?" And he just said, "We had the virus. Everybody wore masks. We social distance, and then it was gone. And then we went back to normal life. It took like 3 months. This is like 6 months in, and we're still doing this nonsense."
Yep.
Crazy. How do we not look around and say, "Oh, these other countries did this well. This seems like it works. Like, let's stop being idiots about this."
Yep. Two arrests were made for trespassing.
What about the hostages?
On a Karen arrests? Yeah, were the hostages freed? Holy hell.
According to the Daily Mail, 7 hostages were executed inside the store. 4 more were raped. So it was a terrible situation all around.
Man, that sucks. That's awful.
That's real life in Costa Mesa. Real life in the OC.
Ryan Carhill going the next level. Just they all died.
Yeah. Sad. Well,
they
sad.
all died and they couldn't get access to green juice.
No water. Being held hostage inside a store with water. So dumb.
We had to do that, huh?
Yeah.
Dude.
So Adam, what's the next access to the Raiders where you get to do some interviews?
Oh, big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow.
Will you follow up with Max Crosby about the palm slapping? Because we need answers. You guys did a terrible job on this.
Well, I think it was after he lectured everybody not to ask him about coronavirus that he really shut everyone down. Like everyone was there to do the same story.
But the palm story is so much better than
makes
coronavirus.
Sense.
It is, but I mean, it is obviously the ugly, ugliness of media now, where everybody is aware. And listen, we've been studying numbers for a long time now, and it really fucking sucks. And we have to have these meetings all the time. But you want me to go do a great in-depth story, like get to the bottom of it. And the palm slapping it's funny. I agree with you. I like the story, but like I can write this amazing story about anything that Max Crosby did and find some, unbelievable thing in his past and write about it and write this great feature and have everybody be like, man, that's a great story. Or I could say, Max Crosby stuck home with coronavirus and he watched a bunch of movies and you have coronavirus in the headline. You're like, that's going to be what draws everybody's attention. And that's what people are going to click on. So it just sucks.
I forgot about that part that you guys were all sent to freaking do the same feature. Yeah.
Well, especially with, it really is weird. And again, like I'm complaining about media stuff and I do it a lot here, but It does suck for fans too. Like, you want to know a lot about these guys, and to not be able to walk around the locker room and like dig up, like last year, just finding out what shows do you watch, like what music do you listen to, what do you do in your free, like just having these conversations every day with these guys, like you would get a lot of that. And now it's like every single person gets the same 2 people, and everybody kind of does the same story. And yeah, coronavirus is going to be the story, and I think everybody was ready for that. But then you go and he shuts that down, and everybody kind of look for other things. And yeah, I think the slapping of palms was good, and we got that from Cleveland Ferrell the other day, who said that was going on. And then, you know, Max Crosby confirmed it, but he was like very weird about it. He's like, yeah, I was slapping the tree and got some splinters. Like, okay, like that's interesting. And then here's the other part is whoever asked that question, and I'm not sure who asked it, so I can't say, obviously would have asked a follow-up question to that, because they were trying to get a story about the tree. They were like, this is cool. I like this. I'm going to pursue this, but it's one question at a time now.
Right.
And you might not get called on again. So, like, if you ask that question and you get a good answer, you're like, oh, I want to follow up. Well, like, no, we ran out of time. We didn't get to you. Like, well, this sucks. So you're not having follow-ups, which I think is Gruden's loving it. Like, Gruden's loving that aspect. But I do think it does a disservice to – and I'm not blaming the team. Like, this is kind of what we're living in now. But I think it does do a disservice to people that want to hear – oh, God. That want to hear cool stories about players that you're just really not finding those anymore. So – you know, we talked the other day, like one of the things I'm doing is try to tell the story from the perspective of high school coaches and college coaches that coach these guys. Because, you know, we've tried to reach out to guys individually and gotten kind of scolded that that's not how it's done. So you got to go through other people, you know, high school coaches and friends. Actually did find out a very cool story about 2 players on the Raiders and trying to work on that for a couple of weeks from now. But
don't tell anyone.
I know. Believe
this is how secretive you have to be now.
Believe me, I know. I literally listen. Yes, I was. That was Brady. I literally listen to questions that other people are asking like every day to make sure nobody's onto the scent of the story that I'm working on. Like that's what we're dealing with now. Kind of sucks.
And I would say less than 5% of fans care.
Oh, I agree.
That's the sad part. I'm not ripping you for telling the stories. I find them fascinating as well, but fans won't know what they're potentially missing out on. Right. You know, by having most of the information controlled by the NFL clubs,
and that's why I think it is important to talk about it. Like, because I don't think people understand. Like, who cares? Media is not there. Well, it's for you. Like, as you as a fan, probably want to know different things about these. If you're reading things about players, you probably want to know different things and interesting things, and you want to find out. And Joey Votto, I've brought this up many times, but Joey Votto is the one who really explained it well. Joey Votto is a baseball player that's like, hey man, like we want the media in there with us. Like, this sucks that they're not there, because they can't really like dig in and tell a story and find out about you and relate your feelings and be the conduit to the fans. Like there is an element of athletes that also are like, this kind of sucks. Like, we want to talk to them. Now, trust me, most athletes are like, cool, I don't have to do this. I have to do it once a month on a Zoom. Cool, I'm good with that. But there are athletes that want to share their story and that care about the fans enough to tell them, you know, what's going on.
Sorry. JVT's funny. When you were talking about keeping your story secret, so get the eyes emoji. What's going on over there?
It's true. It's true.
By the way, we should explain. Did we really explain the Max Crosby palm story? I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but
probably not. So, Cleveland, no fans. Somebody said, "What's the latest on fans of the Legion?" None. It's not going to happen.
I don't know. We're going to get to that in a second. I want to hear the palm story, and then we want to address the fans.
Okay. So while Max Crosby was away with coronavirus, Cleveland Ferrell was doing a media interview, and Cleveland Ferrell and Max Crosby are very, very good friends. And so, you know, he was asked, "Well, what is Max doing? Like, you guys can't even hang out right now because he's quarantined away from everybody. So what is he doing?" And Cleveland Ferrell basically said, he's trying to work out, but he doesn't have a gym. He doesn't have a gym at his house, and he can't go out of his house because he's quarantined. So we tried to take him over some workout equipment, but he doesn't have enough, and he doesn't have anybody to train with. He doesn't have anybody to block against or try to, practice pass rush moves against. So coach has him slapping a palm tree, and we're like, what on earth does that mean? So we finally got to talk to Max Crosby today, and he was asked about it, and he said, yeah, he's like, I don't have a whole lot of equipment, and coach was like, yeah, it's probably pretty good to just slap the palm tree around. I got some splinters, but it helped me a little bit. So I still don't really understand. We had the argument of, is he slapping the the trunk of the palm tree or the leaf? What is it, the frond?
Branch? The branch where it's spiked?
That could be too. Yeah.
I would hit the big palms and the branches. I don't know why you would slap the freaking trunk. That doesn't make any sense to me.
You're probably right. I was thinking like try to move it if you get really strong.
By the way, is there a good chance that this is all just a couple of throwaway lines by Furl and Crosby, and they're just mocking on us basically?
100% it's possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, let's see if we can get these guys to believe the story that I was freaking whacking a palm.
But he's also playing for Rod Marinelli, so I believe anything. That guy's a lunatic.
You know what? This actually, people are on here right now who heard Adam, complaining about access from the media. Adam gets to tell me stuff, off the record, well, really off the air, and tell stories about what he sees in practice. He can't give you any of that. And that's where that's where you're losing. Because he had some good Rod Marinelli stories today. He's like, not allowed to talk about it. The club prohibits it. And it's little stuff like that. It's like, to me, that's part of my enjoyment of being a fan, is to get the inside dope of what's happening at practice and, find out the interplay between the players, the coaches, the players. I mean, so many good stories about the freaking Raiders icebox. That's dynamite. Can't tell them.
No, you're right. And so I told you one in particular. Like Rod Marinelli's just a lunatic out there. He's screaming and cursing all the time. But and I know we're going to get the rhymes with question on this, but there's one player in particular that he was just destroying today. Just destroying every single rep, screaming at him and cursing. It was hilarious. And like, I know what the player is. So what I would have done in the past is go to that player after practice and said, hey man, like what is going on? Coach is really going after you. And then you could tell the story that way of, hey, this is the relationship that him and coach have because it's happening on the field. Like you can get into the story by seeing what's going on in the field and then interviewing somebody and telling their actual story.
Dishwasher.
But because you don't have that, I can't go to that guy because he's not available or he hasn't been available to the media and he may not be at all. So I can't really ask him about that interaction and I can't ever tell that story because we are banned from any kind of those interactions on the practice field. And that's not just the Raiders, it's the whole NFL, by the way. So I just want to make that clear. To the question of an NDA, it's not an NDA. It's guidelines for covering practice that the NFL and the NFL, the Professional Writers Association, agree to. So there is a union, not a union, it's an association that kind of represents us as writers, and they negotiate, access and availability and all that stuff. So for the most part, most years, 45 minutes after every single practice, the locker room has to be open. For 45 minutes. You get 45 minutes to hang out there and talk to everybody that you want, find every story that you want, talk to every guy. That's negotiated. So if not for the Writers Association, we may not have that access at all in the past. Like they negotiate pretty good parameters for doing our job. Locker room open after every game. Quarterback and coach have to do mandatory podium spots after games. Like all that stuff, it works for us. But part of that is give back on the other side that if you are on the practice field and you have that association, then you don't get to report things that are happening on the field. And we talked about the story today that came up with the Cowboys, where all the beat writers saw the injury happen to Gerald McCoy, and they weren't allowed to tweet anything or say anything. And then a national reporter who wasn't there somehow found out from somebody and said, hey, this guy went down to practice. He's seriously hurt. And the beat writer's like, yeah, we saw this happen. Like, what are you talking? We could have tweeted this too. How can you feed it out to somebody else if we're not allowed to tweet it? Which absolutely makes sense.
We had the question earlier about fans. I'm still confused about this. So Chris asked, what's the latest for fans inside Allegiant Stadium? Yes or no? I know no fans at Lambeau to start, but we had the news today, Adam, about Arrowhead. What are they doing?
And Arrowhead is relevant because not only do they host the Raiders, but they also are hosting the first game of the season on Thursday Night Football with the Chiefs. And they said today 22% capacity. So that's a very weird number. Just say 20 or 25, I would think, but 22% capacity that they have at those games. So at least for opening week. Now, here in Allegiant, here in Nevada, there right now is none. And Mark Davis said,
so a couple of things. How is that possible if the Chiefs can allow in 22%? And how is a league allowing one owner to say 0 and another to say 22 from an integrity of competition standpoint? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, they have determined, the league has determined that it has to be left up to local governments. Like it's up to your local government. In Nevada right now, no fans are allowed at professional sporting events. So UFC goes no fans, boxing goes no fans, and the Raiders go no fans. Now that could change, certainly.
Yeah, but the fairness of that, it doesn't seem like that's fair though.
Well,
I don't like the fairness aspect. You have your home fans and I don't have any home fans, then I don't like it.
The league has explicitly said that it's not an advantage to have some fans, which I would disagree with, but that's what they've said.
Totally an advantage. Are you crazy?
But they're doing it, I think, and this is another thing that I'm working on that I've been talking about forever, but I can't really get anywhere with it, that they have to have a cover for at the end of the year when they cry poor to the players, and they can't have the players be able to come back and say, what do you mean you're poor? You could have had 50% fans and you said no. And if the league said, well, we made a determination that if one team can't have fans and no team can have fans, the players will say, so you turned down how much money? 2-3 billion? You turned down that much money? Okay. You're not taking that out of our pay, because next year's salary cap and the next 4 years after that too, well, every year, but it's going to be impacted by this season and the fact that there's going to be reduced capacities. If the players find out that the league is turning down fans and saying we could have sold tickets but we're not, like, that's going to be a real problem when they try to cut their salaries next year. And I'm still interested with the Raiders because the Raiders have said no, and right now they're okay with it because the state has said no. But if the state changes course on that, if the state allows 20% or 40% or 50%, then the Raiders would have to make that decision, and the Players Association will probably go to the Raiders and say, yeah, you better allow fans in. You better sell every ticket that you can because you're taking that out of our money. If you're a waiter, like at a restaurant here in town or wherever, and the state says 50% of people can be there, and your restaurant is like, no, we're saying 20. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? You're turning down that many customers? Like, no, the state said 50. So that the players would have the same argument.
I mean, I get that, but clearly not everybody in control of things is doing the right thing. So I don't know. I mean, that's the problem with all of this is we don't have like real leadership or real mandates or rules about like, hey, everyone needs to do this and then the problem will be solved and then let's move forward. And I don't know. Everything that went down with baseball and the Cardinals and the Marlins and all that, it's like baseball's finally, the Cardinals have played freaking 8. Today was their 9th game of the season. Most teams are on like 22 and 23, 8th and 9th games of the season. And 6th and 7th were the day. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I don't know. Unless you're in a bubble, I just don't think it's right.
Well, I think they're going to get to make it work. And I will say this. What is the advantage of having fans? Why is it an advantage to have fans in the stadium? What do they do to create an advantage?
Well, they get you all riled up, obviously.
By doing what? By
energy,
doing what?
Motivation.
But
you're asking me this like you don't know the answer to the question.
Setting you up.
Yeah,
that's why home field advantage is an advantage.
I'm setting you up to answer the question because they make noise, right?
Yeah.
Well, couldn't that be created without
it's energy, right? It's energy. It's collective consciousness. It's an energy. It's
I think they're saying it's the noise factor, and what the league I think is going to say is that you can put artificial crowd noise in if you don't have fans. I think that they're going to make that determination, and at that point, then they would say that becomes an equal playing field.
Did the Seahawks get more speakers than all the other teams? Because aren't the Seahawks like the loudest fan squad by decibel in the whole NFL?
Right,
but so then they should, in fairness, get louder. Their speakers should turn up to 11. Well, 11's louder than 10.
But I don't think it's the fans that are noisy there. It's the way the stadium was built to create an echo. So I think if you pump noise in, it would be the same factor. Like it would still reverberate in the same way and travel the way that stadium is constructed. If you look at the shape of it, it's absolutely to just generate noise going back and forth. So I think if you put pumped noise into there, the same effect would happen.
Yeah, I used to live in Seattle, and I would eat at the Hooters right across from the stadium, and you could hear a man. That's a loud stadium. Here's my other question for you, Adam. How do they pick the 20% of fans? Is it like a draw from season ticket holders? Is it just like the Richie Riches? Like, how do they pick what 20% of the fan population gets in?
There was a story. They refunded all the season tickets, so those people just got their money back and started from scratch. I believe that's all going to be single game and single sale tickets, from what I saw. And I think there actually is a Chiefs fan in here that might have seen this already. But I believe they're going to resell them. Now, are they going to give preferential treatment to certain people? Of course they are. But I think it's going to be all single games. And they'll just figure it out from there and be like,
All right.
Who gets online first? And, it'll be just like they sell tickets to a concert.
Right. Man, you got to be on it for that kind of stuff. But hey, all right. Well, that makes me at least feel like it's like fair somehow. Maybe.
Well, then that was the problem here at Allegiant, for those that were asking about fans here, is that Mark Davis said, well, if I can't have everyone that bought tickets. So I'm trying to think of the exact numbers, but there's 65,000 seats at Allegiant. A lot of those are in clubs and suites. I believe there's about 55,000 actual seats in the stadium. All of those, or like 90-something%, were for PSLs. So somebody bought that seat for the next 30 years, essentially. Almost every seat in the stadium. So when the league came out, and basically right away they cut attendance by 8,000 for every team in the league, because they're putting those ad boards in for the first 8 rows. So that cut out 8,000 from Allegiant. And Mark Davis is like, okay, some of those seats, somebody paid $75,000 just for the right to buy those seats, and now I'm going to tell them they can't go? And then how are we going to determine, because everybody bought PSLs, how are we going to determine which 20,000 or which 25,000 go? And are you going to rotate it where some people might have just got it for the first game? I want to be at the first game. Well, sorry, you're out. You get the 4th and the 6th game. But like, okay, well, I bought my tickets because I want to see the Chiefs. Okay, well, you're not. That's not part of your package now. Like, there'd be all kinds of chaos with it. So I think his plan and his thought of, well, if it can't be everybody, then nobody's going. I think it's very admirable, and it's a very good thing to do. But then you just start getting into the logistics of it. It's a disaster. And then, man, if you start really worrying about, who's going to get in, who's not, and then are they going to allow some people in, and then the PA starts getting involved and suing, like, there's going to be so many layers to this. It's so far from over.
Yeah.
Adam, a question for you. Did the union or ESPN mandate your Fridays off?
Fridays off.
No more Fridays for now in Cofield and Company. No more Fridays.
That's true. That was more the schedule. Schedule just worked out that way.
Mm. By the way, did anyone notice on the stream, in the chat room, that we're actually doing 4 hours now? We didn't. It was kind of a soft opening today. We didn't exactly announce that we were starting at 2:00
until we sent a tweet out at like 1:55. We're like, "Hey, we're coming on at 2 today." Like, okay.
We mentioned it
we
at
did.
5:58 on Friday. I said we'll see you on Monday at 2:00.
Well, then on the Thursday night happy hour right here, I think I started to say it, and then you cut me off.
I did. Yeah.
New guy on Friday sucks. I agree. I work bankers
hours. Who's the new guy
yeah.
on Friday?
It's JVT who made the comment.
Yeah, Von Tobel's in.
Yeah.
For now, that's until the person who makes our schedule changes his schedule, then we have no idea. So this week, Adam's off on Fridays. Next week, the schedule could be completely changed. So,
which bank would this be? I work ATM hours. That's the executive producer of Cofield and Company. The EP, as he's called. Rhymes with? Yeah. Our executive producer who's
What's the rhymes with? I'm gonna be the asshole to ask. Because you guys know that I'm not super hip. What is rhymes with? Why I always see that in the feed and I don't know. I don't get it.
It's not hip. It just came from our show. When we're talking trash about somebody, but we can't say who it is, they will just ask us rhymes with.
Oh.
So we'll be like, yeah. We'll be like, somebody at the station, did this, and this, but we can't say who it is. And then people say rhymes with, and we're like, Meave Mofield. Yeah. So they like us to.
All right.
If we're saying something about somebody.
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad in on that joke.
Yeah. It's
Now you know.
I'm like, is this a tweet that happened or some meme that went around? Gift that I don't know about? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's kind of subtweet stuff, spoken subtweets. If you don't say the name, everyone on the we've said many times before on the air that subtweets are outlawed. So when we do it here, people get on us and they're like, rhymes with. Give us a clue.
I can respect that.
Yeah, the schedule thing with Adam is truthfully out of my hands. So that's all I'll say for now. Be something we talk about down the road.
Sure.
So it's a challenge now. Everyone's very busy, so everyone doesn't have the time they used to have. But the company's back. That's a good thing. Actually, we were a little short-handed.
I'm not a lesbian.
Now we've got a bunch of stuff. What's happening? Who's accusing you of being a lesbian? Is that going back to the?
I'm not a lesbian. Not since college, Kent. But we're all lesbians in college, Kent. Okay.
It's a straight. Wow, that was good. It's a straight thing. Sorry. Wow. All right, Kent.
But now you gotta be banging pregnant chicks and
I did not screw up any steaks this weekend because I actually ran out, and I just got a new shipment in, and I've gone like 5 days without a steak, so I'm showing a little bit of discipline.
Sad.
The SO gave me a stress test on her phone, which are really accurate.
Yeah,
and
that's what doctors do too.
Yeah, and I was fired up one day. So she's like, "You're very stressed. You have to stop eating steak." I'm like, "I'll take 5 days."
But did she make you take a cognitive test also, since you are kind of losing it?
Yeah. That's why we need this. I probably, you know what? I could just do it. Can I do it that way? Yeah. We actually should just run. Should we do an hour with the breaks on the video during the show, during the radio show?
And just see us not talk to each other?
Well, that and me just yelling at Ari for everything that I'm doing wrong.
That would be good.
Which is happening more and more. Like I forget something. I'm like, Ari, remind me.
Punching yourself in the face.
I punched myself in the face last week because I don't know what it was. I made like 3 straight days of hockey mistakes, and I was just so annoyed on Thursday or Friday early that I confused like it was like Toronto and Tampa.
Yeah, it was. And
I got so mad I punched myself in the right side of the face. Like it was good.
But it wasn't even hockey. It actually was baseball.
No, it was Tampa Bay and Toronto, because I was talking about one of the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference, and I said Toronto, and you're like, "Do you mean Tampa?" And I'm like, "That's enough." I'm losing it. The
best part.
You punched yourself in the face.
Oh, hard.
I do it every once in a while. If I make mistakes, I just start getting front. I've done it like 4 times. It's not a big deal.
But then it's also
my child is a 10-year-old boy, and there are so many things that like I see him do, and I'm like, God, girls would never do that. And like just randomly punching myself in the face is just, I've never done that. That must be a guy thing to do, you know?
No, not really. No.
But the thing of it is, like, if you made a mistake like that and we just let it go, at some point you'd find it out and you'd be furious at us for not telling you. But then if we do tell you, then we have to endure like the punches in the faces and just waiting like 5 seconds to be like, is that it? Or is he going to explode on something else now? Or like, where are we at? So it's like a decision. Do we wait to get yelled at later, or do we take the chance that you punch yourself in the face and still yell?
Ryan Carl chiming in with the my aptitude test. I do not have dementia, but I could identify the cat 8 times in a row for sure.
You could be president.
I think that just means you're not a robot when you're signing into something, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Can you find the traffic light?
Perfect. Pass the flying colors.
Ray, I can't do it again because it actually did kind of this was the worst one. Of the 4 times, this one actually hurt. They usually do like a hard smack.
It's like he does this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dude, settle down.
But it's like, don't you ever see fighters do that?
My jaw hurts.
Don't you ever see fighters do that?
That's to get them fired up to go in and actually fight.
Yeah.
Radio show. I got to be fired up.
There's no contact.
Stop. A couple of punches in the face never hurt anyone.
It's just that's your go-to thing. Like, like Oh my God. That's a
happens
dude thing.
way more than you would think, for sure.
It's
I believe it.
I
I
swear it's
believe
4
it.
times.
Definitely takes place.
I'll
Actually,
take
maybe
the
that,
over. I'm
maybe
on
that
the
is
over
why.
there.
Maybe that is why I can't tell the difference between Tampa Bay and Toronto when we're talking hockey.
Is he concussions?
I'm losing it. I feel like we have a lot more to talk about tonight, but I think we're done.
We've had it.
Just that quick. So make a prediction. Oh, you know what? Man, who cares? No one cares. I'll do. I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow on the air. Now I have a little Yankee explosion. So one of the Red Sox was talking shit tonight. It's like, shut up. So, how I will get through the Fernando Tatis Jr. conversation tomorrow without cursing is beyond me. I hate to go back to the beginning of this whole thing. I hate that so freaking much. Hey, you know what? One more thing, real quick. Adam, on John Jones, what's going to happen? So John Jones, took did the proverbial dump the belt in the garbage thing today.
Yeah.
Didn't do it like Riddick Bowe, but sort of like that. He vacated his 205 belt, so now he's going to fight heavyweight. Is he getting a big match right out of the gates? Is he getting Ngannou or Miocic?
I don't. I mean, he talked about being in negotiations tonight. So I assume that whatever it is, it's going to be a massive fight. I don't know that they take the title shot away from Ngannou, but also I think that maybe they should. Like, give Miocic the fight that he wants, which will be the bigger money fight. I think he'd absolutely rather fight John Jones. He said the other day, like, hey, listen, I'll just fight whoever they tell me to fight. But in the end, you want to go step in there with Ngannou again and take the chance of getting knocked out, or do you want to take a surefire, multi-million-dollar, biggest payday of your life? Like, I think if you're Miocic, you want Jones. And I think if you're the UFC, that fight probably makes some sense. So even though they're saying Ngannou, and I texted Dana White on Sunday, and he said Ngannou, I think in the end, if Jones wants it, it's just too big of a payoff to not do it. And as you said, they could give him another fight, and they could give Miocic and Ngannou to build each other up into that Jones fight. But what if Jones loses, or what if one of those guys gets hurt and the winner gets hurt and has to miss a year?
Right.
Then what do you do? Like, I think at the time, if you can make a massive fight, you almost just have to do it.
Last one. Who's in goal tomorrow? My guy Fleury, who deserves a statue. By the way, first guy who said it. First guy in the market. He deserves a statue, Fleury, in front of T-Mobile. Or Adam's guy, Leonard, who he's clearly behind Leonard. My guy or your guy? Who's in net?
I'm not behind anybody, first of all. I just
Mark, you're a travesty.
what I see.
Miller J. Vegas, you're a travesty. Are there no heroes anymore? Do we not honor the man, Fleury,
By the
by
way,
letting him win the series and save the Knights?
He must have done something before he came here.
what's that?
Like, what did Fleury do before he came here? Was he just great when he came here because it was our first season? We all went ape shit, or was he a badass before?
He was already a Hall of Famer before. No, he's already a Hall of Famer before he came here. If he would have retired before
I'm
he
not
came to
into,
Vegas,
like swinging on nuts. I'm just not, because I'm a lesbian. So,
Yeah,
You're really
I'm not
poking
into
at one of
swinging
her.
on nuts, man. When your time has come, your time has come. It's just my going theme tonight. All right.
So I just saw we did a poll
Exactly.
at the RJ on our Instagram story. What do you think the final results were of who gets the start tomorrow in Game 5?
55.
It's a poll with Fleury.
What do you think? No, well, 55-45 Leonard. Please be Fleury.
Can you do
Devastation.
Fleury,
Whoa!
78-22.
I was going to say 65.
Yes. I regained faith in the best hockey fans in North America. You guys know the score.
But I'm telling you that if you look in the comments,
78%.
if you look on the comments, it's we don't want that kneeler to start for us. Like, okay, well, that's not really what we're looking for here. We're looking for who's the better player, who's going to get the start. A little different.
That's what's up, 10FX. Absolutely. Win a cup. Then we'll talk about a statue, Cofield. Come on now.
He's won 3.
With Vegas?
No, but he took them to a Stanley
You
Cup
would've-
final
you
in
would've-
their first year.
He took an expansion team to the finals.
He took an expansion team to the final. That's better than probably winning a cup most places. It's insane.
I don't like your sass tonight. I don't like it at all. What's going on this week with you? What's going on this week with you? You back on the horse with the picks?
Yes, we're doing picks and parlays. I do it 3-4 nights a week now. Check us out on YouTube, picksandparlays.net. Check us out on Twitter at picksparlays. Basically, it's free MLB, NHL, all the sports you could ever imagine, free picks. We have leaderboards. We do monthly, yearly subscriptions. We do promo packages. Right now, we have an NHL and an NBA playoff package for $149. So yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of great cappers, and a lot of free picks, and then also picks you can buy too, which we appreciate as well. But yeah, picks and parlays. Check us out on YouTube.
Adam is off the radio. Adam's off the radio show tomorrow. He might be on the late night show. I'll throw out one story that I will mention as possibly coming on the Tuesday show. If I can speak English, it'll be on the Tuesday show. If I remember, if Ari reminds me, Ari. I'm going to talk about renting a movie theater and watching Grease. That's what I did on Friday instead of doing this. So we'll talk about that. And the other thing, and I mean this seriously, McKinnell will not be on tomorrow. I don't want to bring everyone down, but McKinnell will not be on tomorrow. His dog is having a tough time.
Oh yeah.
So it could be the final couple of days for Paulie. And Paulie's awesome. And McKinnell and his wife really love Paulie. So don't mention that I mentioned it, but for the people who are on here, the people who watch on replay, it would be really cool to go on McKinnell's account, add Ryan McKinnell, and say, hey, we're rooting for Paulie, or, we're sorry he's not doing well. That would be a nice thing to do. Right? Right?
Yes.
I feel bad for him because he loves that freaking dog. He loves it.
Take 2 seconds out of your day and do something nice for someone who entertains us all the time. He's a good guy.
And if I ask you to, it means that is important because I never ask anyone to do any stuff like this. But yeah,
I'm even going to do it. I mean, that should tell you something.
I'm doing it. Left Coast Mike's doing it.
I'm going to go with IE. Why can't I find my phone?
I got IE on this.
I'm going to go IE.
That's very thoughtful of you, Brady, to ask that question.
Look, you can see it. You can see it's really hitting Ryan Carl. I have no idea if that's sarcasm or not.
I can't ask this. I don't understand.
I'd go IE. Yeah. It's IE. I have the right. So it's Paul E with IE at the end.
I don't understand like feelings and customs. Like, do you wait until after something happens, or do you do it while they're waiting?
I don't think it matters.
Well, I don't want to jinx it.
Well, you send you do that. You're praying for Paulie, or like I'm not a prayer, but I'm a like healing thoughts your way, or you do that while they're going through this part, and then when it's over, then you just say like, "Hey, sorry," and then kind of back off and give them time. That's what I think you do.
I'm not saying this in Ryan's case. I'm not talking about Ryan. I will absolutely reach out to him multiple times. I'm just saying. Now you're saying I have to reach out to people twice, like before something happens and after it happens?
I'm not saying you have to do anything. You could be a cold-hearted asshole. It's totally fine with me. But if you want to do the proper – I'm just kidding. If you want to do the proper thing, you're going to be like, hey, dude, heard about your dog, sending you good thoughts, and then drop it. If he wants to come back and be like, I know it's so tough, I could use someone to talk to, take him out for a drink. If not, leave him alone. Then the dog dies, and you're like, brah, I heard about that. If you need a drink, I'll buy you one. Leave it alone. Let him grieve. And that is the 12 steps to helping your person grieve.
Again, I'm not talking about Ryan. Like we're
Copyright.
close enough. We're close enough that I absolutely will reach out to him before and after. I'm just saying. I'm saying for like a general person out there, every social thing just seems like an assignment of some sort. It's like they got to do before and after.
Oh, but the thing is, if you feel that way, then don't do it because it means you don't really care about the person or the dog.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not getting involved. If I don't care, I'm not even getting involved. I'm going to pretend like I don't know and then pretend like I'm surprised when I find out, like, oh, that happened. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then we move on and like didn't have to do all the middle stuff in there. But yeah, if you care about someone, that's what
I think it's more important to do it.
thing to do.
I think it's important to do it beforehand instead of responding to his tweet, which he'll send out a tweet. You should do it beforehand because then he knows at least someone's been talking about him.
Well, and thinking about it, because that's what you are right now. You know, people are thinking about you.
Yep.
I feel like liking a tweet is a lot. Like that's a real step in the right direction.